well, I can't go and do that because that money is not available for me to go and purchase those things, right?
Yeah, you got to spend it on your necessities.
Or at least for the average person. Sorry, what were you saying there?
No, it's just because it's already designated for your necessities in that sense, right?
Yeah, right. Because it's as a whole, when you have an economic slowdown, businesses will kind of reflect that pain on
Onto
everything, right?
your
Whether
raises
like
become not as big,
yeah, right. Or your
right? Yeah,
raises,
they
or you
might
might
cut
even
your
be let
hours.
go.
Yeah,
Yeah, cut your hours, right? And then that has obviously a domino effect. It's kind of funny. So I guess that leads maybe again my typical self of jumping from one thing to the next. But when you have a recession or a depression, they somewhat become a self-fulfilling
prophecy.
situation, right?
Yeah,
Because if I'm a business and we're going into recession and therefore less people are spending money on my products, let's say, right? Even if
yeah.
my industry is not the industry that was the initial
But
problem,
it's now
let's just say.
filtered down. Yeah,
Yeah, right. So no one from that industry is spending money at my store, right? So let's say, for argument's sake, Jordan, you're my employee. I now cut your hours, right? Or I
yeah.
let you go, maybe even. Now, you on top of that are another person who's not spending money in the economy,
Correct.
right? So it's ironic because in a economic downturn like a recession or in extreme examples of a depression, we often become uh uh oh my gosh, I'm blanking on the word. um like what's it called? Austerity,
Okay.
right?
Okay. Okay.
So
Yeah.
essentially basically you're taking austerity measures, which means from a government standpoint, you are not going to put a bunch of money into the system,
Yeah.
right?
It's gonna
Because
stay
it's
with
like,
you
oh,
more
we
likely.
gotta
Yeah.
like the economy is kind of slowing down. We don't have the money to justify it. But the ironic part of that is that the only way to get out of a recession is to
Is to
spend more
stimulate the
money.
economy. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So that's why it becomes a little bit more of a self fulfilling situation where, uh, whether it be the government or businesses themselves, when they're not putting money into the economy or into their employees or right whatever you're looking at.
Into their growth and development. Yeah.
Yeah, right. No one's doing infrastructure projects during a recession, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, we're barely
It's
staying
part of
afloat.
budget cuts. Yeah.
Yeah, because of course, when your GDP goes down, your taxes also go down, right? When
Correct. Yeah.
your GDP goes down, that means in general people are spending less,
Yeah.
right? Because
Because
that's why
technically
the
you can't.
GDP went
Yeah.
down, right? Um, and so even kind of, I guess, leading maybe to a bit of the modern context of this, but um, when you hear on the news or on YouTube or a podcast or in the newspaper, whatever it is that you kind of get information from, people talking about, oh, a recession is coming. Um, like you got to find a way to shelter your money and save up because you don't know if money's going to be coming come next
Yeah.
year or whatever in a next month. Um, that self-fulfilling aspect of let's hoard our money, hoard our resources,
Leads to.
because I
Yeah.
don't know what's happening tomorrow, right? um yeah, like what you're about to say, it leads to kind of allowing that recession to
Yeah,
come
maybe
about.
not directly, but it definitely it speeds the
Yeah,
process up for sure,
right.
right? So
Yeah,
it's one of those things that
yeah. Yeah, like if you have, obviously if a major industry starts failing, that's the ultimate cause of a recession, let's say,
yes, yeah,
right?
and like you're
But it
saying,
only makes it
housing,
worse when you also start saving or like kind of hoarding your money because okay, I don't know if
yeah,
the uncertainty of things, or maybe you made an investment into that industry and now obviously it's not worth anything or worth a lot less.
less, yeah,
So you can't the comfortability of being able to spend your money um, on
goes
all
out the
levels of
window,
things, whether it be
yeah,
an individual or government, really goes out the window, right? Because it's
yeah,
like, okay, can we actually justify going on that vacation, or can we actually justify upgrading
building
those
that
roads, right?
school,
Like,
yeah, yeah,
yeah, building that school, whatever it may be. Um, so yeah, it is a, a bit of an interesting concept within our economic systems. Um, and it's something that I like to note that not necessarily full out depressions, but you could make this argument that depressions fall into this category as well. But at least recessions are, when you look historically at it, uh, the argument would be that they are a part of our economic systems.